Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Extreme Arena at Hawkeye Volleyball. John Evans, Reagan Coyle joining me again tonight. Iowa takes on the Michigan Wolverines. Iowa will round out their home season. Hard to imagine that we've gotten all the way. Coach Barnes and I, they'll hear it in the interview, that I said, geez, we've been, felt like we were just figuring out the first year logistics with North Florida and South Dakota State last week, and now here we are, the finale against Michigan, and you're making it three in a row for me.
Yeah, that second half of the season seems like always flies by.
So tonight with Iowa rounding out the home season, still will finish up Saturday afternoon at Michigan State. Having gone through the 4 years, what is this week like? You know, most all of us think about what Thanksgiving is going to be like. You know, how much turkey we're going to eat, where we're going to eat turkey. The volleyball team's thinking that too, but it's all going to be at Coach Yale's house. So
right.
How does that work different, and how did you acclimate to that your first year of not going home?
Takes a little bit getting used to kind of that first year, not going home with your family doing the Thanksgiving like you normally do, but you're spending it with your volleyball family, and so it just means, you know, that much more that, you know, you're spending it with the people you've been closest to the last few months, and it's definitely an adjustment, but the season's still rolling, and kind of enjoy that time with your teammates is fun too. Experience the holiday with them.
Sure. We talked a little bit too about for last Friday. You know, how do you know, the season kind of gets long. Iowa hasn't had the wins to show for it. We've seen progress, but haven't seen the wins. How do you kind of stay focused and stay on point? Is it just kind of all about being quote unquote a professional about what you're doing, you know, a little pride in what you're doing, or how do you kind of stay focused in when the finish line is so close now?
Yeah, I think pride comes into the factor a little bit in the sense that, you know, we can probably say with confidence that the Hawks are not going to make the NCAA tournament, which is a bummer to think about sometimes when you're still going. You know, it's like, what's the point? But at the same time, you got to end with some pride here for that Hawkeyes on the front of your jersey. Every game is tough in the Big Ten, but I think kind of like I mentioned last game, you got to do it for your seniors. It's their last game coming up of their career, possibly ever, for volleyball. So you got to finish with some pride and, you know, still go for the win, obviously.
And it's, you know, with 7 returners and, 7, 8, 9 new people, it's still an opportunity to get to know each other a little bit. You know, there will be a lot of these players that come back next year and try to mesh together. And again, as Coach Barnes and I talked about, you know, you get another spring practice or a first spring practice for a lot of them with Coach Barnes. So as you transition into the off season and you think about what you did from sophomore to junior season or junior to senior season, what does that off season look like as a player?
The springtime is huge, I think, for development. I think a big factor of that is having a smaller team. So there's usually only 8 to 10 girls because all those seniors leave and, you know, some people transfer. You've got people coming and going, but you have that smaller group that you spend a lot of time with, and there's really more one-on-one training in the spring, and you really hammer down on, you know, things that you want to get better at, and also kind of experiment, you know, if you're a right side, maybe getting a little middle training as well, just to be a little bit, you know, add more tools to your toolbox for the season.
Diversify your game a little bit. Iowa taking on Michigan again. Michigan started the season really well. I was kind of looking at the last 11 matches. They're 3-8. They've ran into just a little bit of a trouble as the season's gone along, but some of that is just life in the Big Ten, right? I mean,
yeah.
you don't bring your A game no matter how good you are. You've seen Ohio State lose twice this week.
Yeah.
You better be ready every night to go.
Absolutely. Yeah, Michigan is always a scrappy team no matter what. So I think it'll be a really good matchup tonight. As
I was going through the roster again, there's a lot of names that I've seen. You know, Pertovsky and May. You know, you've got Jackie Boney. You know, you've got some players that Scotty Johnson, one of the setters. It feels like I've called their name. I'm finishing the 4th year of doing this. It feels like I've called most of those names all 4 years of doing it. So let's see. We've got Coach Barnes. We've got a Coach Barnes interview. So let me see if I can. I'm going to have to shut you off, and we'll try to do it without blasting everybody's ears. We'll shut that off and get it turned over here. was able to spend just a little bit of time with Coach Barnes in the finish up here. So we'll get it plugged in and be ready to go. All right, here's Coach Barnes, pregame. I'm with Coach Jim Barnes. Coach, feels like last week we were figuring out the logistics of how are we going to do this with North Florida and South Dakota State, and here we are now. Last home match of the season, Extreme Arena, Michigan tonight. Thanksgiving season, what are you thankful for after year one ends?
Well, you're right. It's going really quick, and at the same time, we've gone through so many things. It feels like a lot longer than that. So, I'm grateful for every player here. Our players, like, I've said before, is from day one they've given their very best to this team, and we've gotten better, even though you don't always see it in results. They have gotten this program to another level, and that process is going to get the results as we go. But I'm just grateful for them and what they've given this program, and I'm also grateful for what we've learned. I feel that we're not that far away from the middle of this league, and that that gap is not that wide, and then with a little bit of improvement and that we can get to the middle of this league quickly.
Well, you've seen that, gosh, all the results here lately. Penn State knocks off Ohio State. You had Penn State 10-10 in the fifth. Purdue now is scuffling a little bit. You caught them early in the year when they were playing better. Yeah, top to bottom, Big Ten might be as good as it's been.
Yeah, extremely competitive. You just never know what team, Maryland goes there and knocks off Ohio State after they beat Nebraska. Indiana knocks them off. So Indiana's had an incredible, year that you just didn't expect. But the league's really good, and at the same time, I think that brings encouragement to us after being through it, is that we get, improve our team, bring in a couple of players and get a couple points better. We're in the middle of the league.
Yeah, you haven't been that far away. So now tonight's Michigan, kind of one of those mid-level teams that maybe you hope to get at home. What do you expect to see from them?
Well, it's a team that started off really hot and I thought was one of the better teams in the league, and they've kind of regressed a little bit to the middle of the pack. But they have some great players, and they're physical, athletic, and run a 6'2" that have a lot of hitters coming at you. So we're going to have to play our best to beat them, and we need to take advantage of being home right now. And I know the team's been hungry, and we practiced well, and I really want to see what Nia Washington does. She's been playing really well in practice and played well against Illinois, and she'll get the start tonight.
Yeah, you talked about being close against Illinois, a couple 2-point sets. How do you just kind of, is it focus? How do you just try to close that one last gap to maybe you win that first set, maybe that changes how the third set goes,
right.
Just all those weird things.
While we talk to the team, every great player goes through losing in some sort of way like that, where, they're young, they're learning. There's a lot of new people on our team that are playing for the first year together, that you lose sets like that. And really that pain of losing is one of the best teachers. When I'm in that situation again, can I focus small and just execute? Because we let it overtake us. We lost our focus, and we let the team back in it. And I think that's the best teacher is, again, we got to learn how to focus when the pressure's on. And we are either applying the pressure or we're feeling the pressure. We get to choose that. And I challenge the team today. Let's apply the pressure today. Let's be that team. Because if you're feeling the pressure, you're on the wrong side of it.
So one last question for you now. Obviously, you came last January, so now this will be your first off season. Mm-hmm. Besides the nonstop recruiting cycle, you and I playing a little golf in the spring. What does the team do? What do you hope for out of spring practice now that you'll have a more full squad than you had this year?
Yeah, I look forward to that spring. That's where we really develop our team, and the recruiting aspect we're looking forward to as well, to continue to bring some better players in that can help us get to that next level, and at the same time train the players here over that spring. It's going to be the foundation. Like I've said, we see that vision of getting to the middle of this league, and it is through the recruiting, through the spring training, and then go fight in 23 to get there.
Sounds great, Coach. Good luck tonight.
All right, thank you.
Welcome back to Extreme Arena and Hawkeye Volleyball here on Thanksgiving Eve. We're getting the national anthems, national anthem just finished. Now we're getting the starting lineups. Quick run through for the Wolverines. Quick Star brings you your starting lineups. For Michigan, Jess Merzick, Maddie Dowd, Jess Robinson, Haley Hallgren, Jackie Boney, and May Pertofsky. Your libero is Hannah Grant. We're getting Iowa's starting lineup now. There will be, I think there's going to be 2 changes well, it depends on the rotation. There'll be at least one. There might be a second one as Hawkeyes are long season. Injuries kind of accumulate and pile up, and so we're seeing a couple changes. And then you saw, if you followed Iowa on Sunday, the loss at Illinois, Nia Washington started the 3rd set there, played exceptionally well in the set, and then as you heard Coach Barnes mention in the interview, she practiced really well, and so she earned the start tonight. Now whether that translates to the start on the floor, doesn't look like she has one of the balls in her hand, so she might not start tonight, but she'll be in the rotation and she'll be one of the outside pins. So I was also talking to Coach Barnes beforehand. One of the things he kind of got a chuckle of was the finishing against Rutgers when we were talking, and I asked you, all right, what are we doing here to finish this thing up? And you said, all right, good pass, good set, AJ finish it up. And he said in the huddle, he talked about exactly the same thing. He said, everybody expects the ball to go to AJ, so we're going to push it right over her head, and we're going to let Mickey finish it up. And so he got a laugh out of that. He said, you called the right play. He just went ahead and went he went with option.
The right play for everyone else.
Yeah, he just went with the option 2 there to make sure that maybe Iowa could run something a little trickier. We were talking decent crowd here on Thanksgiving Eve. As again, the Hawkeyes finish their home slate here. My day job, I wrote a client letter today, and I always talk about how time flies, and boy, that's certainly applicable here as we get through the season, and you just kind of move quickly.
Yeah, October and November feel like they're just a blur when you're in season.
So the Hawkeye starters. 1, 2, 3. I'm missing one. I think Choi had a ball and I missed it. We'll start with Sydney Dennis. I know that one. Sydney will get the start at libero. Mari Hinkle a little banged up now. And again, if you followed Iowa matches, you know how Mari might get a little banged up.
Absolutely.
As she's taken a bullseye or 2 and been the target of some opposing pins. Teams will shake hands. We'll go with the ones I've confirmed. We've got Sydney Dennis at libero, Delaney McSweeney, Lily Tessier, Amaya Jones in her last home match, Michelle Urquhart and Addie Vanderweide. Hawks in the gold. Michigan in navy. And a shout out to Coach Rosen. I guess I should go Coach Mark Rosen, still on medical absence, so wish him the best. Assistant head coach Lisa Rosen is filling in his stead, and they've been at Michigan now a long, long time, 24 seasons. So wish him the best. Hope there's a good return to the bench next season. Toyosi Banjo was the one that I'd missed there. So Hawks will look to finish the home slate with a bang. 8-21 overall, 2-16 in the Big Ten. Michigan 16-12, 7-11 in the Big Ten. We talked about had a little bit of a stumble late, although they did beat Maryland in 4 in their last match. and Maryland had been riding high, had knocked out I think Maryland had their first top 5 road win, I think it was.
Yes.
And so they had been playing
at Ohio State.
At
right?
Ohio State, yeah, had been playing exceptionally well. So Maryland got a good win there after dropping matches against Illinois and Purdue. So we'll see how they bounce back, or I guess continue their momentum if they can kind of maybe have found a little bit of a rhythm. Maddie Dowd back to serve. She's the leading setter in the 6-2 right now for Michigan, averaging just over 6 assists. Good pass from Dennis. Tessier outside to Urquhart, off the block, covered by Dennis. Behind Diana Bonjo, has to tip. It goes high. Diving play from Grant. Ball comes back to the Hawkeye side. Dennis takes it. Tessier, McSweeney off the block, punches it back over. Dug again by Grant. Dowd platforms it to the outside. Good chop down the line there from Merzick. 1-0 Michigan. Dowd comes forward again, right down the line. Urquhart. Tessier has the platform on a banjo. Tips again. Grant's there. Kill from the right side that time. That was Pertovsky.
Michigan not hitting the ball too hard. I think block just needs to get there for the Hawks to at least get a touch on that ball and slow it down a little bit for somebody to dig it up.
Good spot, particularly on the first one. Right down the line again. Dennis, good pass. Tessier, middle. No touch from McSweeney. Quickly 3-0 Michigan.
Need a good pass here to get an offense rolling. Lots of tips from the hitters here. Need to get a good swing.
Dowd one more time off the tape. Dennis, Tessier, Urquhart off the net. Dug by Dowd. Platform, that's Pertovsky. Rolls it over, Tessier. Dennis gets it. Urquhart. Dug by Grant. Dowd, back row. Goes wide. Hawks catch a break on the hitting error. And they're on the board. It's 3-1 Michigan.
And for the Hawks in the front row, try to get some sparks rolling up there on offense.
Dennis back to serve. Good strong serve. Good pass though. Dowd, middle attack. Jones blocks it. Covered by Grant. Outside this time. Big block high off, or big swing high off the block. Give that kill to Merzick again.
It's a good swing by Michigan there. Unlucky off the block, but at least the block got there to kind of slow it down a little bit so somebody can maybe chase that down.
Merzick now serves from the 5 spot right in front of her bench. Pops it over. Vanderwide. Tessier outside. Dug by Grant. Back row again. Off the block. Merzick gets the kill from the back. Hawks thought they got rid of her from the front row. She's got 3 quick kills.
That timing is a little tricky as a blocker when you have that back row attack. You have to wait a little bit longer than you normally would on a front row hit and kind of go up a little later to get a good touch on that.
Merzick again. Floats it at Vanderwide. Tessier outside to Urquhart. Goes outside the antenna. Hitting air makes it 6-1. Coach Barnes has seen enough. He'll call timeout. 6-1 Michigan leads. We'll go ahead and take the quick timeout as well. You're listening to Hawkeye Volleyball presented by Quickstar. Welcome back to Hawkeye Volleyball presented by Quickstar. John Evans, Reagan Coyle here at Extreme Arena. Michigan out quick. It's 6-1. We were talking there at the break a little bit. Hawkeyes have, you mentioned early the block wasn't getting there. Now it looks like it's there, but the ball's ricocheting high off of it. You mentioned maybe a couple causes for that.
Yeah, usually you know, if it's coming off the block like that, it's either one, the hitter is very smart and they know how to swing high hands and get a tool off that, off the block, which you see that a lot in the Big Ten, with the block being so big on every team. But could also be that the block is not pressed all the way over the net. You know, they're kind of coming off the net a little bit, which makes it really easy to tool off those hands. So I think if they really press over the net and kind of get palms facing the floor more, they'll be able to get a roof block there versus just a touch off the hands.
So maybe block's still just a little late, just needs to slide a little quicker. Merzick to serve again. Vanderwide, Tessier, Jones off the block, dug up, good play there. Ball comes to the outside, chopped into the net. That was Hallgren that hit it in the net. All right, Hawks caught 2 breaks now in hitting errors from Michigan. They're going to have to now start creating some of their own offense. On a banjo, back to serve. Bad pass, Grant uses hands. Good ball, goes off the block and scores. Hallgren didn't have a good serve receive, but had a good swing there to finish the point. 7-2 Michigan.
It's a little bit off speed there, not quite as high hands as the last swings that we've seen, but just caught Amaya Jones's left hand just a little bit. She just needs to press that over a little bit more to get that block touch.
Robinson, good serve. Ortega one hands. Good kill from Amaya Jones. Bailey does a great job setting that middle on not great sets.
Yeah, that one-handed set there. Nobody's expecting that to go to Amaya in the middle, just with it being so tight to the net, but Amaya knows it's coming, and Bailey wants a setter, so it works out.
Nia Washington now checks in for Addie Vanderwide. Urquhart to serve. Floats it over into the 3 spot. Ball goes to the middle. Ortega gets a hand on it, but can't dig it up. That was Boney with the kill. 8-3 Michigan.
It's a good fast 3-ball by Michigan to catch the blockers off guard just enough to get a good swing.
Scotty Johnson in now. She'll serve. Heavily wrapped right hip and upper thigh. Left hand swing goes over. Bad pass from Urquhart. That'll be an ace. Hawks kind of have a hard time getting out of their own way. Their crowd's flat. They're a little flat.
Yeah, a little bit slow start here. Need a big hill here from Jones to get everybody going.
Johnson again. Dennis, good pass. Ortega behind her to Schmidt. Good play there. The block was centered on AJ and went outside to Adina, and she finished it off.
Yeah, it's a great swing.
Nine 4 now. Jones to serve. It's a good one. Bad pass. Grant chases it down, platforms it, back row swing. Ortega takes it. Jones platforms it to Schmidt. Grant gets the dig. Johnson, middle attack, tipped over, out of bounds.
It's a good set by Jones when your libero is on the bench because you're middle serving. Kind of a question as to who's going to take that second ball when your libero is out, but Maya called for that ball. She wanted to get the assist there.
Nyambia was off balance, missed that wide. Jones went with the hard serve that time, catches the tape and rolls back to the Hawkeye side. So after the Hawkeyes' first back-to-back points, Error gives it right back, 10-5 Michigan. Amber Beals checks in, she'll serve. Off the net, Ortega behind her to Schmidt. Blocked. Give that block to Boney and Merzick. 11-5 Michigan.
Michigan's middle there was closed there on that block. Not much room to go anywhere else besides maybe a tip over the block there.
Beals again. Into the net, gives the Hawks a break. 11-6. Beals right back out, Hallgren right back in. Hawks have 2. Ortega and Schmidt head to the bench. On a banjo and Tessier in. Tessier to serve. Tessier goes cross. Ball's tight. Good pass outside. Big swing. Bad news for the Hawks. Merzik's back in the front row. She finishes that one. 4 kills and 12 points for Michigan.
They ran that outside ball with very fast tempo. The block was late getting there for the Hawks.
Grant floats it over. McSweeney has to take it. That'll go for an ace. 13-6, Michigan on top. Delaney's not really built for serve receive.
She could get her hands on one.
Diving play from Urquhart. Tessier platforms it behind Washington, rolls it over, dug up. Johnson pushes it outside. Merzick tips. Washington with the dig. Tessier on a banjo tips. Grant with the dig. Johnson middle attack. Dug by Dennis, but out of bounds. Kill goes to Robinson. 14-6 Michigan. Grant again. McSweeney takes that one. Dennis platforms it. Washington. Blocked. Hawks do cover. Platform it over. Grant takes it. Johnson, right side. Ooh, boy. That was well finished from Niambio. And Coach Barnes will use his second timeout. It's 15-6 Michigan. Timeout. Hawkeyes will take the break. You're listening to Hawkeye Volleyball, presented by Quickstar. Welcome back to Hawkeye Volleyball. Iowa Volleyball is brought to you by University of Iowa Sports Medicine, offering sports injury prevention, treatment, and rehabilitation to athletes of all ages and skill levels. University of Iowa Sports Medicine, team physician of your Iowa Hawks. Again, we were talking at the break. You might have seen a little bit. Nia Washington has a lot of hops, but one of the things you see in the Big Ten is those right sides all have a lot of hops too, and
when you're 6'2",
yeah, if they're 4, 5, 6 inches bigger, that block has to be timed perfectly to even get hands on it.
Yeah. Niambio took advantage of that there. It's a 6'2" versus 5'10" matchup. I could see Michigan kind of taking advantage of that as the match goes on.
Grant, good serve. Urquhart, good pass to Tessier. Middle from Monabanjo, misses long. See the Hawks run that play quite a bit. They send Sweeney on a slide and send her away. McSweeney on a slide, send her away, and then have Monabanjo run straight through the middle. Grant, good float. Monabanjo takes it. Tessier, there's the slide, and there's the block. 17-6. Everything the Hawkeyes come up with, Michigan has an answer for right now.
Yeah, can't seem to get a front row hitter to really give us a good swing right now. Might need to be a little bit creative, open the toolbox.
Urquhart, good pass. Tessier outside to Washington. That was creative. Hit one hard.
There we go.
If all else fails, clobber it.
That one, she at least had a, I couldn't tell if she was outside or over the block on that outside there, but at least with some power.
On a smaller hitter, you probably need her off the net a little bit to give her options, right?
Yes, exactly.
Vanderwide jump serve. Floats it over long. Again, that's the can't get out of their own way right now. But
yeah, kind of adding to that unforced errors list right now.
2 service errors and 5 hitting errors for the Hawkeyes here in the early going. 18-7 Michigan. And after one lap around, Dowd's back to serve. Right down the line, Urquhart. Tessier, Urquhart blocked right back at her feet, 19-7. Dowd again. Urquhart, another good pass to Tessier. McSweeney misses long.
You know, they're passing really well. Passes have been great. They can't find a hitter right now to put it in bounds.
Hawks are going to try Jacqueline Caspers, as she'll come in for Delaney McSweeney. Yeah, that would look like it's a good first ball from Urquhart. It was a good pass from Tessier, just missed long. Urquhart, good ball to Tessier. Behind her, Anabanjo. Off the block, Vanderwide covers. Tessier, Anabanjo again. Dug up, right side attack, through the block. Tessier, one hand. Dennis, off the net. Urquhart rolls it. Grant, Dowd. Finish there from Robinson. And Michigan has a 2-touchdown lead.
Casper's a little late to get to that block there. Michigan kind of had an open net on their middle there.
I don't think we need to help them like that.
No, I agree.
Urquhart, bad pass. Tessier gets it up in the air. Urquhart hits it out of bounds. Audrey Black will check in. Chopra will also check in for Michigan. Dowd back to serve. Dennis, good pass. Tessier, Caspers, dug by Grant. Free ball coming over. Actually, got a swing at it. Vanderwide, Tessier, Caspers again. Dug up, Grant, good tip over. Tessier, Dennis outside Anabanjo, blocked, covered by Dennis. Tessier outside to Black, dug by Grant, tipped over. Caspers, Tessier, Black. Another good dig from Grant. Right side. Tessier gets it up. That ball's out. It's just sailed over. Good call there from Coach Rosen. She tracked it the whole way, called it out. 23-7. Hannah Grant, 9 digs here in the first set. Dennis, good pass to Tessier. Backside on a banjo. That ball looked touched. No such luck.
The Michigan block is in Anabanjo's head just a little bit. They've gotten a lot of block touches on her swings, and she tried to go high hands there, but just missed above.
Tried to hit the top side of the shovel.
Mm-hmm.
Vanderwide, good pass to Tessier. Outside to Black. Down the line, scores. You know, a lot of times, unfortunately, the Hawks have given up, maybe not this big of runs through the year, but they've given up some points. And it tends to be that their passing goes sideways. Passing through that run was pretty good.
Great, yeah. Just can't find somebody to put it away. Michigan's playing really great defense.
Dennis now to serve. Good pass, right side. Behind her, block back on. Jones and Black. Block Chopra.
Also quite a few unforced errors by the Hawks during that run too. I think if they eliminate those, they can, at least fight a little bit harder for the second set.
Dennis, another good serve. Good pass though. Middle attack, blocked. Over Black's head. Give the kill to, that was Pertofsky, and that'll do it. 25-9 in the first set. Not what I expected. We'll regroup. We'll flush it. We'll come back for set 2. Michigan leads 1-0. You're listening to Hawkeye Volleyball presented by Quickstar. Welcome back to Hawkeye Volleyball. Quickstar is proud to be the presenting sponsor of Hawkeye Volleyball. Quickstar goes the extra mile to make sure that you always have the freshest options because service and quality is what matters most. Visit any of their locations across Iowa. For any Harry Potter fans out there, we're going to go with that's the set that shall not be named again. So Michigan leads 1-0 is all we'll say about that one. Jess Merzick with 4 kills, May Pertovsky with 3 as Michigan hit an impressive 348 in set 1. We're just going to say the Hawks didn't and kind of leave it at that. And 9 digs again from Hannah Grant, so great job from the Michigan libero. But as we mentioned before the break, a lot of Michigan block was good. There were 3 blocks there, but a lot of self-inflicted wounds from the Hawkeyes.
Yeah, absolutely. Michigan didn't have to do anything super special in that set. All they had to do was kind of make sure the ball went over the net and make the Hawkeyes make the errors, and they were doing that quite a bit, so which reflects in the score. So hopefully they can kind of get together this set and not create such a big hole from the very start. That way they don't have to dig so far as the set goes on.
Yeah, 15 digs to 6, Michigan led. 3 blocks to 0, Michigan led. Side out percentage, again, pretty much every number you want to look at was heavily tilted for Michigan. Not terribly surprising then when you saw the score line there for that one. Jacqueline Kaspers and Audrey Black will both get starts this set. It looks like Audrey will be in for Toyosi and Kaspers will be in for McSweeney. So a little shuffle here, which probably deservedly so after that set.
The passing looked really well for the Hawkeyes too. So as long as they keep that up and get the offensive rolling here, I think they could stick right with Michigan.
Make one of those fun turnarounds where you go, how did that happen set to set? Urquhart gets the Hawks started. Good serve. Passes off the net, middle attack, but Dennis gets the dig. Tessier behind her to Black. Goes through the block, dug up. Ball's going to come over on a free ball. Urquhart, Tessier, Kaspers. Misses. 1-0 Michigan. So there's no touch there. One looked just a little behind Kaspers. Didn't look like she could get kind of the same snap you want out of the middle.
Yeah, the timing was maybe just a little bit off there. I think that ball needs to get a little bit higher for her and to get a good swing on it.
Merzick floats it at Vanderwide. Tessier outside to Vanderwide. Rolls it over. Grant's right there. Goes outside, back row attack. Dug by Urquhart. Does Tessier have room? Yes. Kaspers platforms it over. Grant takes it. Middle attack. And that is just hammered home from Robinson. Hawkeyes aren't in a place right now where they can let Michigan run free balls at them.
Nope, lots of offensive firepower for the Michigan side.
Merzick will try again. Good serve right down the line. Urquhart, Tessier, outside to Vanderwide. Blocked. Goes wide, but off Vanderwide. Hawks think it's their ball. It is not.
Yeah, kind of an unfortunate touch. Vanderwide was trying to get out of the way there and just caught the front of her jersey.
So 3-0 Michigan out quick here in the second set again. And that's going to be almost an impossible one to challenge. She's not going to have a good camera angle on it if it didn't. It looked close to her. I couldn't tell just from our angle whether it hit her or not. Merzick right down the line. Urquhart. Tessier outside from Black. Tools it off the block and scores. Got it off Hallgren's block.
It's a good high swing by Black there off the hands. Gonna give Michigan a taste of their own medicine.
Dennis to serve. Sails it. Big swing, dug by Dennis. Tessier platforms it. Vanderwide off the net. Dug by Grant. The ball's tight. Jones goes up, gets it. Hit it off kind of the right pinky, but it snuck past the block and scored. 3-2 Michigan. Probably good she just didn't hammer it right at Robinson because Robinson was there.
Yes, she was. She stayed out the net too, which is good. It's kind of easy to hammer the net too when you're taking that overpass.
Ball's tight. Vanderwide tips it down, scores. Hawks with 3 straight, and we're tied.
Dennis bringing the heat from the service line. I like those aggressive serves. Get Michigan out of system and make them work for the point.
She's kind of floated them into different spots, too. Puts a little more zip on that one. Ball's off the net from Hallgren. Grant platforms it out to her, though. Big swing high off the block. Grant covers. Right side. Middle block was late. Which is not hard to blame her, as she was all the way over on the left side. Had to hustle all the way back. Pertovsky split the middle, gets the kill, 4-3.
It's a lot of ground to cover for Maya to get all the way out there. But
Robinson. Urquhart. Tough pass. Tessier off the net. Vanderwide rolls it and blocked right back into the middle of the Hawkeye court. That was Boney and Pertovsky.
Try to avoid doing a low roll like that for a free ball when you have a big block up there. Get it up and over and keep it in play.
Good serve again. Good pass, though. Jones out of the middle. Hawks might have caught a break there. Boney did a nice job getting hands on Jones' block, but Robinson was your back middle digger. And I know we talked about this last match. Middle blockers think they can do it all, but digging might not be a specialty.
Little middle on middle crying back there.
Ortega now will try to get even for the Hawks. Knocks it over. Good serve, good pass. Right side. Blocks late again, and Pertovsky makes no mistake. Splits it and goes in.
I'd like to see Vanderwood kind of bring that block in just a little bit, so that way can force them to hit line on that ball. So that way Amaya can get there and close that block, make them hit around the block versus have that seam open every time.
Johnson in to serve again. Lefty hops forward. Nice drop serve there. Boy, that was a beauty. Caught Vanderwide on her heels a little bit. 7-4, second ace for Johnson.
That cross-court serve covers a lot of ground, and she's starting pretty far back. If she gets a lot of heat on it, it's a very hard ball to pass.
Runs it forward again. Same spot, same result, really. Hawks catch a break and then give it back on the block as Schmidt's blocked in the net. And the Hawks will call timeout after a pretty good run. It's 8-4 Michigan here in set two, as they're just kind of owning the net right now. We'll take a quick break. This is Hawkeye Volleyball presented by Quickstar. Welcome back to Hawkeye Volleyball. Hawk fans, experience your home away from home at Coralville's finest all-suite hotels. Homewood Suites and Home to Suites by Hilton each offer guests spacious suites, complimentary breakfast, 24-hour fitness center, pool, hot tub, guest laundry, and convenient locations. Let their warm and friendly staff take care of you and your family when you visit Hawkeye Country. After tying it back up at 3, Michigan now on a 5-1 run, back up 8-4 here in set two. And again, Michigan is dominating the net right now. Had 3 blocks in the first set, 3 blocks already here in the first 12 points of set two.
Yeah, 6 blocks to Iowa 0. I just think the hitters need to be a little smarter when they're sending those balls over. If it's not a hittable ball, tip it into a tricky spot. Tip it into the campfire to make Michigan work for it instead of just hitting it right into the block, make him work for it.
Johnson goes at Dennis. Ortega all the way outside to Schmidt. Goes right down the line at Johnson and scores. 8-5. As the Hawks stop the run there.
It's a nice open line for Dina to switch it up from the usual cross-court swing.
Vanderwide now back to serve. Bad pass. Grant knocks it over. Vanderwide. Ortega, Jones. Off Grant, scores. 8-6. They have moments. Now they just need to string those moments together.
Exactly. Create a run here. I like the aggression from the service line, though. It's causing Michigan to be out of system, and opportunity for Iowa to get some blocks here.
Vanderwide floats it long. That wasn't really the announcer jinx. That wasn't you.
She took a little bit off there. That one sailed out.
Yeah, she was more, it looked like trying to find a seam in the defense,
Yeah.
just kind of catch them off balance or get some miscommunication. Beals in to serve, 9-6 Michigan. Knocks it right down the line. Washington. Ortega has to one-hand it, and unfortunately called for a back row setter.
It's one downside to running a 6-2. Those tight balls make it really tricky for the setter to do much of anything with it.
Just try to go up and at least play it and hope you can do something with it. Beals floats that one. Ortega behind her to Schmidt. Rolls it over, dug by Johnson. Grant behind her, chopped over. Good dig by Ortega. Dennis gets it to Washington. Tried to take something off of that, and I think we talked early in the season about what she had, and she's got a fastball, and I haven't seen her with too many off-speed pitches, and you saw that one knocked in the net, 11-6.
I like the idea of a roll shot to switch it up a little bit. Just get that over the net so that way they can play it.
Beals another good float. Dennis takes it. Ortega to Jones. She's blocked by Boney. It's 12-6 Michigan. Yeah, if you're scouting report, Jackie Boney's not leaving AJ, right?
Nope.
I mean, she's just
She's
wherever she
saying-
chases.
Exactly.
Beals, good strong serve that time. Ball goes outside to Washington. Hawks catch a breaks. Michigan's in the net. 12-7. Casper's back in. Jones back to the service line. Amaya is the Hawkeyes' most aggressive server, but this one has to go in. Does. Grant with a great pass, though. Hawks with a good block from Washington. Ball's back onto the Iowa side. They're celebrating. Caspers. Ortega dumps. Grant with a good dig. Johnson gets it. Grant knocks it over with two hands. Caspers. Good high ball. Ortega. Washington tips it. Dug up by Hallgren. Johnson all the way outside. Merzick off the block. Washington with the dig. Ortega. Back row from Vanderwide. Block. Jones covers. Ortega punches it over. Johnson. Merzick off the block and scores.
Good ball control by the Hawkeyes, though, during that rally for the front row players to get that ball up nice and high and give Ortega some time to get there and set whoever she wants, allow everybody to transition.
Grant to serve. Good cross serve there. Ortega all the way up right side. Schmidt gets the kill. Boy, that is a tough ball, too. She got that. She was tracking all the way over to the left pin, pushed it all the way back out, and it was on target for Schmidt to get the swing.
Yeah, that's a great forced back set by Ortega there.
Schmidt now up to 3. 13-8 Michigan. Tessier to serve. Good pass. Wow. Nyambio's got some hops.
She does. That was a bounce for sure.
Just smiles as she comes off the court. Don't blame her. If I could hit one like that, I'd probably smile a lot too.
That looked like a warm-up swing.
Did have a little bit of hitting line ring to it. Dowd to serve again. Good pass to Tessier. Casper's off the block and scores. Give Casper's her first kill. Scoreboard is wrong, I think. Feels like it should be 14-9. Coach Rosen in front of us asking. Hawks go ahead and serve it, though, before. Right side slide coming. Ball's back onto the Michigan side. Grant will platform it over. Black takes it. Tessier behind her to Black. Through the block and scores. Scoreboard's right now, 14-10.
A little bit of momentum starting here on the Hawks side. Get some offense rolling.
Hawks have 10 points and 10 kills this set, so they're starting to find some offense. Urquhart, good flat serve there. Merzick, good pass. Middle attack. Hawks don't really have an answer for Robinson there either. She just goes over the block. Robinson 4 kills on 5 swings. Michigan hitting .359 in the match. Merzick to serve again. Goes cross, Vanderwide, good pass to Tessier. Casper's behind her, blocked back onto the Iowa side, but out of bounds. Casper's the kill. She's got 2 now. She goes out, Jones comes back in, Dennis to serve. Hawks trying to crawl back, 15-11 Michigan. Floats it, bad pass. Merzick has to platform it all the way over. Urquhart, good ball. Tessier, Black behind her, sails it long. Boy, that's a killer. You're in system, you're running it out, and you don't even make them play the ball.
I think that set was a little bit inside for Black, but regardless, get a good swing on that and at least keep it in play. I think she might have been going high hands.
Cochran now will come in to serve for Robinson. 16-11 Michigan. Lead 1-0. Cochran hops forward, knocks it over. Urquhart, good ball to Tessier, middle to Jones. Wasn't quite timed right. Ball comes to the right side here, rolled over. Urquhart can't make the diving play. Pertofsky with the kill. Oh, good. Pertofsky's listed as a senior. I feel like I've called her name forever. Cochran again. Urquhart, good pass. Tessier, Jones gets the kill. Amaya's got 5, 17-12. Hawks in a big need of a run here, and Bailey Ortega back at the service line will have to get it started. Bailey hops forward, floats it over. Good middle there. Boy, everybody kind of disappeared on that one. Boney gets the kill. That wasn't the dent the floor kill. That was kind of the
a little bit of an off speed
finger windshield wiper that found a good spot. They all count for the same number of points for Michigan, though. Johnson will serve again. Hawks need to get rid of her quickly. Vanderwide, good pass to Ortega. Outside to Schmidt, off the block, scores. 4 for Adina.
smart swing by Schmidt there, using those high hands, getting out of the way in time to have the ball in out of bounds from the block.
Vanderwide. Merzick, good pass. Right side, blocked and off. Oh, that is terrible.
Yep, she definitely touched that.
That ball ricocheted off the blocker. I'll apologize to everybody if the replay shows something differently, but boy, Hawks don't catch the break there, 19-13.
Get a front row spot for that.
Good serve right down the line. Washington. Ortega called for a double.
Trying to force that middle ball again on that out of system pass, but just a little unlucky on the touch there. Called for a 2.
20-13. Beals to serve again. Washington, bad pass. Ortega chases it down. Jones actually gets a swing right into the block, though, because it was set. 21-13. Coach Barnes will use his second timeout. We'll take it as well. 21-13. Michigan leads the second. You're listening to Hawkeye Volleyball, presented by Quickstar.
Not the last play.
21-13, Michigan leads set 2. When corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Take a closer look and you'll discover the many connections you have to corn. And those connections translate into wins for farmers and wins for all Iowans. Share your winning moments using hashtag IowansWin. Hawkeyes hitting 179 in the set, 13 kills, 13 points, which tells you how sharp Michigan's playing as they're giving up. They're not giving the Hawkeyes anything, hitting 474 in this set, 9 kills on 19 swings. Hawks 13 kills, 8 errors. Okay, so I apologize for using the word terrible, but as we check the replay, it did bounce off of her, so. Beals right down the line. Dennis, Ortega, behind her to Schmidt, high off the block, scores. 21-14.
Another good swing, high swing there by Schmidt using those high hands.
Maya Jones back to serve. But like we talked about in the first set when that got called on Vanderwide, off the tape, good ball from Grant. Outside Merzick, blocked. Grant, good pancake. Platformed over. Vanderwide uses hands. Ortega outside. Washington. That-a-way. Nia gets up, sends it down, 21-15. Like we talked about in the first set, off the ball that went off Vanderwide, even if you want to challenge that, there's not a camera angle that looks at that. So it'd be very hard to get an angle that's going to show you conclusively. Jones sails it long. 22-15. Grant to serve now. Goes at Vanderwide. Ortega outside, Washington behind her. Good roll, but dug up by Johnson. Grant platforms behind her to Merzick. Dug from Dennis. Vanderwide. Washington has to platform it over. Grant. Johnson. Nyambio.
She's back.
She's back to the front row. I love the smile on her face, though. Grant, great serve there. Ortega has to platform it. Washington rolls it off the block. Johnson, Grant, Nyambio, good chop. Ortega digs it up. Dennis platforms to Washington. Off the block, out of bounds, Hawks score. 23-16.
Washington is hitting really well on the outside right now, kind of bringing the heat when she can, and if not, she's tipping and rolling really well.
Tessier to serve. Good serve there. That'll go for an ace. The Hawks finally have a point in this set that didn't come from a kill, but they still earned them all.
Yeah.
As Tessier gets the ace. 17 points in this set for the Hawkeyes, 16 kills and an ace, as Michigan really hasn't helped Iowa at all. Tessier, good serve. Grant, bad pass. Back row attack coming. Off the block. Boy, tough break there for the Hawks. Good swing from Halgren, gets the kill. Set point for Michigan. Dowd comes back in, she'll serve. Dowd, good serve at Vanderwide. Tessier behind her, Washington. Through the block and scores. Nia's got 5.
Finding her rhythm more this set.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the Hawkeye offense, and I mean, they're hitting 265 this set. There's really not a whole lot to complain about. You just look across, though. 458 for Michigan, as the Iowa just has not been able to stop Michigan at all. Urquhart now. Good cross-court serve. Merzick off the net. Robinson takes it. Merzick off the net, rolls it over. Tessier. Dennis. Vanderwide, good sharp swing, dig from Grant. Blocked. Vanderwide and Kasper's block. I believe that was Pertovsky. They finally get a win on May.
It's a great block by Vanderweide. She was up there early, ready for that swing, and got a really good touch to direct it back on the court. In that deep spot, there's no defender back there to dig that back up.
Urquhart pops it across. Better pass from Merzick. Slide from Pertofsky. Dug by Tessier. Urquhart, good ball to Vanderweide. Good chop. Grant, great dig though. Middle, good swing from Robinson, and she gets the kill as Grant just made a great diving play there. 25-19, Michigan takes set 2. All right, improvement. We make a 10-point improvement next set. We're going to win this one easy.
Yes.
So Michigan leads 2-0. We'll take a break. You're listening to Hawkeye Volleyball presented by Quickstar. All right, welcome back to set 3, Extreme Arena. John Evans, Reagan Coyle. I'm going to start with this because I've said this a couple times, and when the ball hit off Jackie Boney there, and I blurred out, "That's terrible." I want to be really clear. These referees do a great job. They're fantastic. I'm the one that last time in the Rutgers match called their middle the wrong name for nearly 2/3 of the match. So that was terrible. So it's, to pick one call out, it's just, I'm in no way suggesting that that changes anything, does anything. It's just you kind of see what happens in front, and you're like, okay, how did we do that? But yeah, for the other 1,000 calls that they get exactly right that we tend to ignore and overlook.
Yep.
Well, I want to be really clear about that. So it's not and the down referee that we have tonight has been here, I don't know how many times this year, always does a great job. And so we'll start with that as we come out of the break here with that. Michigan leads 2-0. The first set, which we're not going to mention anymore, 25-19 in the second. And again, the Hawkeye offense really kicked up there. 19 points in the set, 17 kills. I'm not sure I've seen a team not help the other team as much as Michigan did there. Michigan just one hitting error. They got aced once. Really was on point. You mentioned it in the first set. If Iowa cleaned it up, it could be a better contest.
Yep.
They cleaned it up a little bit. It was a better contest, but Michigan just didn't help at all.
Yep. Michigan is just a steady team, and they're not making a whole lot of errors on their side. So when they get a run going, they take advantage of it, and Hawkeyes still had a few unforced errors in that set. But offense looked good, but Michigan is not handing them any free points. So
Michigan, 24 kills, just 5 hitting errors so far. They have 1 service error, no ball handling errors. I guess they had the one blocking error that goes as a Hawkeye kill, but man, it's been a pretty outstanding performance, not only in how they've run things, but just defensively. You've got Hannah Grant with 13 digs already through 2 sets after having 9 in the first. 8 blocks as a team, so they've been a little bit of everywhere. First serve here to start set 3. Vanderwide to Tessier. Vanderwide dug by Grant. Dowd behind her, tipped over. Dennis gets the ball up in the air. Vanderwide chops it over. Good dig from Grant. Blocked by Anna Banjo as the Hawks come. Boy, I didn't even see this lineup. Anna Banjo running middle. We are making some changes here.
she was ready for that block, though, in the middle.
And maybe because the blocks, the middle attackers have been so springy. Get Toy, very athletic. See if she can close off some of those blocks. Urquhart, good dig. Tessier outside Vanderwide. Mishit that one. But that was the first time it hasn't been 3-0. So 1-1's a win right now.
Yep, point for point here. Just can't let Michigan go on runs. They really find offense and kind of string those points together quickly.
Merzick spins it. Good serve. Urquhart, Tessier. Jones misses wide. Boy, you get what you want there, and you just miss it. 2-1 Michigan. Merzick. Good serve at Urquhart. Ball was tight. Back row setter again for the Hawks. Well, it wasn't 3-0, but it's 3-1 again. That's 3 straight for Michigan here after the Hawks scored the first one. Merzick at Vanderwide. Tessier to Black. Through the block and scores. Nice job from Audrey. Audrey with 4 kills on 8 swings.
Get a set to Vanderwide, a set to Jones, an error. Give Black a chance, and she puts it away for the Hawks.
Ortega back to serve. Good pop down the line. Passes off the net, goes back outside Hallgren. Off the antenna. Just hits the antenna before the block. Kind of like what you were talking about, too. Have that block set in, try to make them go line. Hallgren misses that time.
Yeah, they've been swinging cross a lot. I like to see that block stay inside and make them go line.
Ortega goes at Merzick. Right side. Comes back inside. Pertovsky with the kill.
Same thing applies on that left side there with Vanderwide. She's so far out, kind of close to that pin, which creates that seam between her and Jones as Jones is, busting to get out there to close that block. She's got a nice wide open seam to hit through.
Robinson at Urquhart. Ortega outside to Schmidt. Off the block. Jones tips it back over. Jones pounds it back over, but it's dug up. Platformed over. Urquhart takes it. Ortega. Jones gets the kill in front of Merzick. Tied at 4.
It's a nice, powerful swing by Jones. She's had a lot of success with that wrist away swing, kind of hitting into that left back spot.
Urquhart out, Nia Washington back in. Vanderwide. Good pass from Merzick. Middle, tipped over, Washington's there. Ortega to Jones. Scores! Hawks have the lead, 5-4. Amaya with 7.
Switches it up there with her signature crossbody swing. Tries the right back with another kill there. Caught the libero on her heels a little bit.
Vanderwide. Good float to the 3 spot. Merzick, though, great pass. Right side. Amaya Jones was nowhere to be found. Pertovsky finishes it off. So is that you kind of get watching the play a little bit? Because there was nobody going to be in the middle there. It was either coming outside or right side.
Yeah, a little bit. And after a few powerful swings, I can imagine she might be catching her breath a little bit.
Johnson to Vanderwide. Jones. Speaking of powerful swings from Jones, gives the Hawkeyes the lead, 6-5. Toy Oceana Banjo back in. Dennis out. Toy playing middle. I like it. Amaya, good serve, good pass. Jones, middle attack. Ana Banjo, one-handed block. Dug by Jones, but out. Tied at 6.
An impressive one-handed block there.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Don't see middles block
she
one-handed.
surprised herself a little bit, too.
Holgren with the kill there, tied at 6. Beals to serve. Washington, pass off the net. Ortega back out to Washington. Off the block, finds a hole. Johnson kind of went to transition to offense, and the ball hit the back line anyway.
A really great pass by Washington. It was a little bit off the net, but I really like how she was transitioned really quickly, got out to hit right away. She wanted that ball to come back to her. She was ready.
Nyambio's heard it holding her fingers there. Tessier into serve, 7-6 Hawks lead. Good cross serve, Grant takes it, great pass. Dug by Dennis, Tessier. Hawks get the dig back up. Platformed, Washington off the court. Merzick, Johnson. Well, the boy paying dividends. Nyambio's blocked by Ana Banjo.
Those block touches in the middle are exactly what Iowa needs to slow this Michigan team down.
We may be in the last week of the season, but we may be opening a can of something here. Good serve from Tessier. Good pass. Merzick, big swing. Good block. Tessier. Washington from the outside. Dug up. Ball's tight. And that'll go for a kill. 9-6 Hawks lead. Tessier to serve again. Good serve there, Merzick. Middle attack, blocked back on the Michigan side. Grant pushes it outside. Sails it long, that was Boney. It's 10-6 Hawks. Coach Rosen will dig into her bag and call timeout. Iowa leads set 3, 10-6. A lot more fun, we'll take a break. You're listening to Hawkeye Volleyball, presented by Quick Star. Welcome back to Extreme Arena. Hey, Hawk fans, Oak Knoll's presently hiring full and part-time cooks to work in one of their 4 dining venues. Their cook shifts end at 8, meaning no late nights and more time with friends and family. You work with fresh foods and you're allowed to show off your creativity. Does having paid time off and benefits sound good to you? Learn more. Go to oaknoll.com/join our team. Go Hawks. I mean, obviously, leading does it, but Hawks playing with a different energy here in set 3 than the first 2.
A little bit, yep. They look a little looser. It looks like they're having more fun playing.
Tessier, good serve. Good pass. Right side attack. Ball hits the floor there. Good kill from Boney. I think she was worried about catching herself in the net.
Yep, Toy said my bad on that one. A little bit late to get there. Kind of switch into that middle mindset of you got to be everywhere on the net.
Grant had good serve. Vanderwide with a bad pass. That'll go for an ace by the time it's all chased down, said and done. 10-8. So now you put in all this good work. You need a side out right now. Don't let Michigan crawl back in this. Push them away. Keep them at arm's length. Grant, good float serve. Vanderwide, great pass. Tessier dumps, scores. That'll do it. As a 6'3" setter, it's got to be hard to stay below the plane of the net on those.
Yeah, she just had a little baby hop there, but was able to stay below.
11-8 Hawks lead. Urquhart back in to serve. Washington and her 7 kills, hitting .429 today. She'll head to the bench. Urquhart, good sharp cross. Good pass from Merzick. Back out to Merzick. Off the block. Tessier, though, overpasses. Anabanjo wins the joust. Merzick off the block. Great diving effort from Anabanjo to keep it alive, though, as the Hawks kind of caught a bad break. You've mentioned it a lot on those off-net swings. The timing of Black's block was just a little bit off on the Merzick swing there.
I love the energy that Anabanjo is bringing in the middle right now, though I feel like they're playing with, like you said, a little bit more of a spark.
Good serve at Urquhart. Bad pass. Vanderwide platforms. Black platforms it over. Grant takes it. Dowd outside Merzick. Off the block. Dug by Urquhart. Tessier. Dug by Grant. Good back pass there. Kill from Pertovsky. She's got 9. Michigan back to within 1. It's 11-10 Hawks.
The block was set up really well there on the outside. Vanderwide brought it in just a little bit, just an unlucky touch off the high hands.
Dowd, good serve at Urquhart, bad pass. Dennis to Vanderwide. Good swing, dug by Grant. Middle, sails it long, no touch. Robinson error gives the point to the Hawks, 12-10. That's Robinson's first error on 10 swings. She's been outstanding out of the middle. Now hitting .600. Dennis to serve. Merzick, good pass. Dowd, middle attack. Good finish there. Robinson answers right away. I like that. You make an error, you go right back to her on a good pass. Give her a chance to get that out of her system. 12-11. Merzick to serve. Vanderwide, good pass to Tessier. Behind her to Black. Off the block. Pertovsky can't make Merzick can't make the diving play. 13-11.
Hawks are doing a good job not making as many unforced errors in this set, kind of sticking right with Michigan, down or up by 2, but need to keep that lead here going into.
Ortega, good strong serve. Merzick, good pass. Middle was a little off-timed. By Dennis. Urquhart, Vanderwide, off the block and out of bounds. Addie's had a tough night. She's got 2 kills now, 14-11. Ortega again. Good serve there, bad pass. Dowd chases it down right side. Off the block, Urquhart, Ortega. Jones has to tip. Didn't quite time that one right. Hallgren off the block, back onto the Michigan side. Good cover. Hallgren again rolls it over. Dug by Dennis. Ortega outside Vanderwide pushes it over. Good dig. Tipped over by Robinson. Ortega behind her to Schmidt, has the tip. Oh my. Robinson, I think she expected Grant, who has been everywhere tonight, to be there, but didn't get to that one, 15-11.
It's a perfect spot to tip to add a little scramble to the other side, because just like that, you know, the libero was not sure if that right side's going to come over and take that ball or not.
Ortega off the tape. Good play by Merzick. Pushes it out of bounds. No touch called. Michigan's begging for it. I love Merzick's reaction. No. Of course, she's not the hitter. Every hitter wants that.
Yeah.
16-11 Hawks lead. Sub coming in as Jacobs will check in for Hallgren. Ortega to serve again. She'd been aggressively getting more and more on those. Finally hammers one long. Kind of knows it. She's
laughing that one off,
got that little smirk on her face. Man, I tried hard. 16-12, Robinson back to serve. Urquhart, bad pass, tipped over. Hawks get it back over though. Dowd, right side. Hawks get that one up. Black gets it over. I'm sorry, Schmidt gets it over. Dowd, right side again. Blocked and the Hawks score! Adina Schmidt, solo block. 17-12.
That was an awesome stuff block by Schmidt. She was over and pressed before the ball was hit. Went straight down on Michigan's side.
You can tell the Hawks are using a lineup they don't usually use. As Vanderwhite's walking back to serve, she's yelling at Nia Washington, hey, you need to go check in. As she comes back in for Urquhart. Vanderwhite floats that one at Merzick. Ball's tight, one hand, block back onto the Michigan side. Jones and Schmidt, it's 18-12 Hawks. Down ref looking at Coach Rosen, nothing.
Great patience by Amaya Jones up there. She, you know, with the back row setter, you got to wait on that ball and wait and jump at the middle instead of the setter.
Vanderwide floats it, got into Jacobs. Jacobs with the swing, blocked back on the Michigan side, covered by Grant. Merzick uses hands, that's a good ball. Off the block, dug by Vanderwide. Ortega, one hands to Jones. That ball's up. Ortega tips it right back over and scores. That is volleyball IQ of 140. What a fantastic play there. 19-12, timeout Michigan. We'll take it. Michigan leads 2-1. Iowa 19-12 in the third. You're listening to Hawkeye Volleyball presented by Quickstar. John Evans with Reagan Coyle back at Extreme Arena. 19-12, Hawks lead the third, trying to extend the match. Hawks hitting .409 here in set 3. 11 kills, just 2 errors, and finally holding Michigan to 0. 8 kills, 8 errors for Michigan in the set after only 5 in the first 2 sets. Nearly flawless volleyball. Maybe the reverse hometown announcer jinx worked. Hawk defense has really stepped up, and you talked about it, didn't even notice it when they first started, but Toyoshi Anabanjo starting in the middle brought a whole different energy to the squad here in the third set.
It really did, and, you know, Hawks now at 5 blocks, finally, you know, putting up a presence on the block and making Michigan think more about where they're going to set that ball.
33 digs to 29 now in the match after just a completely lopsided number earlier in the match. Vanderwide, long float, Jacobs takes it. Jacobs will get the swing. High off the block, back onto the Michigan side. That ball falls to the ground. Where was Dowd at? Which I couldn't see if maybe she got caught up in one of her players over there, but that was actually a good high ball from Pertosky as she had the cover, put it right up in the middle. Vanderwide floats that into the 3 spot. Grant takes it. Dowd, middle attack, punched over. Washington. Ortega. Schmidt. High off the block, scores! After 2 sets of Michigan just absolutely owning the net, the Hawkeyes have really turned it up, getting a lot of good touches. They're able to run offense right back at Michigan here in the set. Vanderwide goes to Jacobs again. Dowd, right side. Jones didn't get there. Pertovsky gave the crowd something to ooh about, 21-13.
Yeah, another matchup up out there with Nia Washington just going over and around the block, one-on-one.
Yeah, she cut that one just right inside. That was coming right at us.
Yep.
Johnson, good serve. Vanderwide, bad pass. You mentioned it. Scotty Johnson's serves don't look, they're not the, hey, here comes one at 52 miles an hour, but she's way back. She gets a good angle, and it's got a lot of movement and drop on it.
It does, yep. She's covering a lot of ground, just going that cross court, and it allows for just a lot of flow to happen by the time it gets to that passer.
Johnson at Vanderwide again. Middle attack. Good dig. Vanderwide takes it. Ortega back outside. Washington off the block, scores. Nia's got 8. Hawks lead 22-14. Little miscommunication or a little communication issue there. You could tell Bailey wanted to take it, but Vanderwide got her off of it, allowed him to run offense. Jones, good strong serve. Bad pass from Jacobs. Grant chases it down though. Platform coming over. Schmidt, Ortega, outside Washington, blocked back onto the Hawkeye side, 21-15.
Washington's gotten a few lucky swings off high hands that have been successful for her, but that one was right into the hands of that block, and they were ready to force that one back into the court.
Beals now to serve. Good strong serve, overpass. And Boney finishes it off, 22-16. Not to bring up bad memories, but the Hawks led set 3 Sunday, 22-15. That's all we're going to say about that one, too. Beals to serve. Vanderwide, tough pass. Ortega has to platform it to Washington. Puts it into the block. They didn't get the good press that time, 23-16. Black and Tessier both in. Ortega and Schmidt out. Hawks 2 points away from forcing a fourth. Tessier, good sharp cross. Got kind of into her chest again. Johnson, though, good ball outside off the block. Merzick gets the kill. And she's been really quiet since early in the match, but she's got 6 now.
These last couple points are really important for the Hawks to finish strong and don't let Michigan, crawl back too far. Get some momentum going into this fourth set.
Grant, good serve at Washington. Tessier back to Washington on the right. Scores off a double touch. Hawks have set point. Give Nia Washington 10. Quick check. Urquhart will serve for the set for the Hawks. Good serve at Merzick. Johnson back out to Merzick. Hammers that off Dennis, 24-18. If I can trust the Hawkeye media guide, Nia Washington's career high was 5. She has 10.
Not a bad night.
I'm all for getting her another handful or two.
Yeah.
Michigan making 2 subs here. Checking with the scorers table. Must be running tight on set or on subs. 24-18. Dowd back into serve. Hawks a side out away. Good serve at Dennis. Tessier behind her to Black. Off the block. Finds the floor. Hawks take set 3. 25-18. Play some more volleyball. Michigan still leads 2-1. We'll take a break. You're listening to Hawkeye Volleyball presented by Quickstar. Welcome back to Hawkeye Volleyball, presented by Quick Star. Michigan leads Iowa 2-1. As Iowa did a nice little, interesting little lineup change for the season, or for the first time I've seen that lineup all season. Worked pretty well as the Hawks rattled off 16 kills again. So the offense clicked. Only 3 hitting errors. So the Hawks hit 448 in the set, held Michigan to 077, and got it to where we get to play a fourth. So a lot of we talked about it before the match, how win or lose, you wanted to kind of see Iowa come out and play with some energy and some enthusiasm. We talked about kind of that pride of, hey, we're not playing in the NCAA tournament. We've got a week left, but instead of mailing it in, perfectly honest, the first set or two looked like a mail-it-in action.
Yep.
Lot of energy there in set 3, with whether that's the lineup change, the light switch going on of, hey, let's not do it this way. Whatever it was, set 3
it worked.
Yeah, whatever it was, set 3 worked a whole lot better and was a whole lot more fun for Hawkeye fans.
Yeah, really getting the offense going too. The pass has been steady all match, but the offense kind of matched it there, and they really got something going, hitting 448 versus negative in that first set. They really turned things around and, finally look like a balanced team here.
Pertovsky with 10 kills, Nia Washington with 10 kills for the Hawks, 17 digs for Hannah Grant, 20 assists out of Maddie Dowd, and 11 out of Scotty Johnson. Got 18 for Bailey Ortega and 13 for Lily Tessier. Hawks really just kind of with a balanced digging attack. Sydney Dennis, her start at libero, she has 8. As we mentioned, Nia Washington with now her career high with 10. See if we can get her to play another set or two here and add to that number. Urquhart will get us started here in set 4. Good serve, Merzik off the net. Goes back out to her though, punches it, Urquhart. Tessier behind her to Black, covered from Urquhart. On a banjo out of the middle, nearly kills Grant and scores.
She's got that fast whip for a swing, which can be really efficient in the middle, especially if, she's got a one-on-one opportunity. She hits those 2 balls really well when she plays as a right side hitter, so I can imagine she enjoys that as the middle as well.
Gonna have to give Coach Barnes just a little bit of a hard time here. Urquhart floats it into the 2 spot. Dowd outside, Merzik catches the corner. Good swing there from Jess Merzik, 1-1. Yeah, Hawks with 38 kills, Michigan with 37. But the errors have kind of been the story for the Hawks. Merzik floats it right down at Urquhart. Tessier, middle down a banjo, scores. I can't imagine she's practiced that a ton. I mean, they've had her looking at outside and right side, and I mean, I know they run some special plays for her, but to pop in and all of a sudden now get a couple kills at important times, pretty good from Toy.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Dennis, good serve at Grant, right side, over the block. Good dig from Dennis. Amaya Jones tried to get the little chicken wing pop-up, couldn't quite do it. Tessier giving her a little bit of the business there for the move. Robinson back to serve. 2-2 here early in the 4th set. Good serve. Tessier to Jones. Through the block and scores. Amaya Jones with 9 now.
And the middles for Iowa have a one-on-one opportunity kind of every swing that they get, which allows them to move the ball around the court, either wrist away or cross body. They're able to swing kind of wherever they want.
Ortega floats it all the way to the back. Hallgren's off the net, back out to her. Dig by Dennis. Ortega, good hustle, pushes it behind her. Dug up, Dowd, right side. Pertovsky's blocked. Vanderwide and Jones, mostly Vanderwide. Nice job from Addie.
Kind of an uncharacteristic swing for Pertovsky. Normally she's hammering that ball. It's a little bit of an off speed right into the Hawkeye block.
She does have 11 kills tonight. Merzik off the net again. Comes back to her. And that's again, you see Michigan double up a lot. Okay, hey, you made an error. Let's go right back to you. She splits the block there. Looked like Urquhart had a chance to get that, but just kind of, I don't know whether the block had enough of a touch to slow it up, threw the timing off a little.
A little bit, yeah, kind of caught her on her heels a little bit too, landed right in front of her.
4-3, Iowa leads. Johnson to serve. Good serve at Vanderwide, reaches for it, but gets it. Ortega gives it to Amaya Jones, and she's in double figures now and fired up.
Love that forced back set by Ortega with that out-of-system ball to Jones. Finds a way to put it away.
Amaya Jones is always fun, but Smiley Amaya Jones is even more fun. Vanderwide floats it into the back corner. Middle attack, tipped over. Good spot there. That was Nyambio again. Didn't recognize her when she hit it off speed, but she put it in a good spot.
Didn't put a hole in the floor this time.
Yeah, we don't need the facilities to come out and fix the spot where she pounded it down. Beals to serve. Dennis, bad pass. Ortega, good hustle. Washington rolls it over. Grant, Johnson. There's the dent in the floor. Although that one wasn't quite as hard. That was one-on-one with Washington. She cut it inside, tied at 5.
With Washington's ups, I can imagine she can put up a good block, but her problem right now is she's too far. She's too close to the pin. If she were to just cheat inside just a little bit, she can get a good touch on that.
Beals floats it at Washington. Schmidt has to tip. Grant sees it coming. Johnson. Merzick. Sharp cut touch. 6-5, Michigan regains the lead. Beals again. Goes at Vanderwide. Bad pass. Ortega handles it well. Has to be tipped, though. Johnson platforms it to Merzick. Dug by Vanderwide. Ortega. Washington rolls it off the tape. Dug by Merzick. Johnson out to Merzick. Blocked, out of bounds. Schmidt and Jones were there. It's 7-5 Michigan.
Unlucky touch off the block there, but I think that's where hitter was trying to go. An off-speed set like that.
Beals, good float serve. Jones. Ortega goes off Washington, or goes to Washington. She scores. Hawks stop the 4-0 run, 7-6. Anna Banjo comes bouncing back in. Jones to the service line. Good strong serve. Hallgren, bad pass. Johnson, long platform. Jones with the dig. Ortega. Anna Banjo, that's hang time for you. Grant doubles. Coach Rosen's livid, but that ball had plenty of rotation on it. Again, I know we talked about this before. That's not the end-all, be-all to it, but your hands sure look uneven when it starts doing that. Merzick is explaining it to Grant. Coach Rosen is explaining to the up ref that that's a bad call. Again. Jones catches the line in front of a diving Hallgren, 8-7 Hawks. Coach Rosen looks at the bench. Her bench says, yeah, that was in. So Amaya with the Hawkeyes. Good strong serve. Grant, good pass. Missed connection. That comes over, though. Washington, bad pass. Not sure what just happened there. Grant, Merzick uses hands. Boney off the block. Ortega dumps it right back and scores. Again, volleyball IQ off the chart, 9-7.
That's a very smart play by Ortega. Nobody's expecting that ball to come over on first contact there, and way to use the campfire to create a little chaos, too.
Jones again. Serves it in the net. 9-8. Hawks still lead. Tough way for your 4-0 run to end. Grant back to serve. Vanderwide. Ortega. Schmidt blocked. Hawks can't cover. Tied at 9. Just Schmidt's second hitting error.
Yeah, it was a pretty low set by Ortega there. Schmidt didn't have much she could do with that ball. I'd like to see that get a little higher for her so she can at least get a swing on it or a smart tip.
Line judge calls for the sweeper. This set here has been a set of runs so far. Grant serves, tied at 9. Onabanjo takes it, goes outside of Washington. Sent right back to her. Nyambio and Robinson. 10-7. I'm sorry, 10-9. Grant at Vanderwide. Ortega. Onabanjo has the tip. Outside Merzick. Hawks, not sure they let that go or Dennis missed diving it. Couldn't see her with the support in the way. Either way, it's 11-9 Michigan. We've been 4-0, 4-0, 4-0 here. Grant again. Vanderwide outside Washington. Blocked right back at her again. Nyambio taking charge there on the pin. Timeout, Coach Barnes. 12-9 Michigan. Here in the fourth set, leading 2-1. We'll take a break. You're listening to Hawkeye Volleyball, presented by Quickstar. Michigan leads set 4 here in Extreme Arena over the Hawkeyes. Michigan leads 2-1. We really haven't had a close set yet. Obviously, the first one was gross for Hawkeye fans. Sets 2 and 3, which Michigan won 2, Iowa won 3, weren't particularly close either. This has been a pretty good battle to start the set. Michigan now starting to get some separation. Michigan again finding their hitting ways. 8 kills, just 1 error, hitting .500 here in set 4. Grant at Washington, good pass to Ortega. Behind her to Schmidt, catches the corner. That was well placed right there in the one corner.
Yeah, that was a great swing by Schmidt. Ortega was able to switch it up there with a good pass and, get the back set, switch things up. She set to Nia Washington a couple of times, both times hit it into the block and give their defense a little different look there.
Schmidt's got 9 in her last appearance here in Extreme Arena. Tessier right down the line. Merzick, bad pass. Johnson chases it down, hits it up for Merzick. Off the block, dug up. Tessier kind of looked for help, and by the time then she decided she needed to go for it, couldn't get there. 13-10. Give that kill to Merzick. She's now got 12. Still doesn't have a hitting error. Dowd to serve. Good strong serve. Dennis, Tessier. Washington from the right scores. Nia Washington with 12, 13-11.
A nice powerful swing there by Washington. Kind of get her rhythm back after having a couple errors there. It's a great rip cross court.
You played with Reagan Davey, right?
Yes.
She just kind of reminds me of that. Same size, really big jumper.
Yes, yeah. I was going to mention that earlier, actually. But
Urquhart, good serve. Merzick off the net. Ball goes back out to her on a great ball. Dug up, though. Tessier pushes it outside. Urquhart from the back row, off the block. Dowd, middle. Onabanjo was there, but Robinson's able to knock it off of her and score 14-11.
yeah, a little bit undersized, but crazy hops and has a really fast rip of a swing.
Merzick now back to serve. Hawks need the side out right away. Good serve. Tessier one-hands it. Vanderwide tips it over, misses wide. Unforced error there from the Hawks. I want to make sure you live to at least get a chance to play defense there. 15-11. Merzick again. Goes at Vanderwide. Tessier on a banjo. Dug by Merzick. Right side. Good strong swing from Pertovsky, and it's 16-11. Vanderwide down. She gets up. She looks all right. Coach Barnes checking on her. We'll have the sweeper come over, give her an extra second or two. 16-11, Michigan on top.
A little bit of a scare there. I was hoping she wasn't holding her knee when she came down.
Pertovsky with 13 now, leads everybody. Merzick. Dennis uses hands. Urquhart, Vanderwide off the block. Didn't get over. 17-11. Coach Barnes holding that timeout. He's gonna challenge it. I'm not sure what he's gonna challenge. Oh, he's gonna challenge whether she touched it or not, or whether the block touched it or not. Makes sense.
I don't know if I saw a touch on that one, but.
At this point, it's probably as good as a timeout, right?
Right, yep.
I mean, you've got two challenges.
Maybe even longer.
Yeah, you got two challenges. You haven't used either. At least you get a replay out of it. Because funny enough, you would have lost the point if it played out. But
right.
You'll get the replay off of that. So again, there was two challenges per team. If Coach Barnes is correct, he gets it back. If he's wrong, he'll lose it. But then if he can force a fifth set, he'll get another one anyway. So really, it's a low-risk challenge from that perspective here at 17-11 in the fourth. I love watching these guys work the challenge wheel. Some of them are really comfortable with it, and some of them just want nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Pertovsky with 13, Merzick with 12, Hawks also with 2 in double figures, Nia Washington with 12, Amaya Jones with 10. As it's funny, when the hitters have won, they've really won. You know, Pertovsky hitting 360, Merzick hitting 414, Jess Robinson hitting 571, Nia Washington 333, Amaya Jones 350, Adina Schmidt 438. But when the hitters haven't won, they really haven't won. And
yeah.
we won't name names on those, but it's been and I think that's probably why you've seen some of the runs. You kind of get into these streaks of, hey, we can score 3-4 points in a row,
yep.
or 5 out of 6 because our spin of the rotation works better than your spin of the rotation.
Yep. Yeah, and on this side, unfortunately, I think it's favored Michigan with them going on lots of runs here on a 4-0 scoring one right now if this call stands. And Hawks just need to find a way to stop them and kind of get back to their presence at the net. They've only gotten, 2 more blocks this set, so finding a way to play defense against their powerful hitters.
That was in the stats before the match. Michigan averages about 2.5 blocks per set. They have 4 so far today, with hopefully a little bit of time here to go. So I mean, they've done a really good job at the net, and it's come from a number of different players. You've got 5 blocks from Robinson, Nyambio, and Boney all with 5. So they kind of share it around just a little bit there. Amaya Jones with 4, Adina Schmidt with 3 for the Hawks. 6-2 setters, both teams fairly balanced. You've seen Maddie Dowd now kind of take the lead 25-17 on the set on the assist side. And Hannah Grant, after a ridiculous first set with the 9 digs, still has 19. She's slowed down a little bit. Sydney Dennis in double digits for the Hawks with 10. This one taking a little longer than There's something in my mind that if a challenge takes this long, unless it's a technology issue, we should be going with the we should be going with the call on the floor and being let's move.
Oh yeah.
Because if you have to look that hard to find the difference or the change.
Yep.
Now again, I kind of joked about him struggling with the wheel. Maybe we haven't got to the play we're looking for here.
Finding the right camera angle and.
Okay, so he's communicating with the up ref. I think it was the outside the antenna was what that last question I heard. Coach Rosen's about to be hot, I think. Replay. And she's going to be mad because, to her point, if that play rolls out, Michigan scored the point anyway. But it really doesn't matter because once the whistle blows, it's done. So 16-11. Yeah, she actually catches a bad break because the officials got it wrong. If the officials would have got it right, called the touch, they'd probably win that point anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But because the whistle blows and play technically stops, and Merzik serves it into the net after being iced for the last 3 minutes. 16-12, and now if you're the Hawks, you got a lot of weird emotion going on the Michigan side. You've got to take advantage of it.
Absolutely. Starts with an aggressive serve here from Dennis, too.
Sydney comes forward, floats it at Merzik. That's a good pass to Dowd. Right side. Urquhart whiffs, 17-12. Pertovsky finishes it off. Robinson at the service line. And Cochran will come in to serve for her. (17-12). Michigan leads here in the fourth. Trying to close the match out. Good float serve. Urquhart, Tessier, Vanderwide, high off the block. Little miscommunication. Merzik from the back row knocks it long. First hitting error from Merzik. I will not apologize for that. Cochran out, Robinson in, Robinson out, Grant back in as the libero. And Bailey Ortega needs to start a Hawkeye serving run here. 17-13 Michigan. Good strong serve right down the line, but a good pass. Right side swing. Good dig there from Dennis. Schmidt rolls it, dug by Hallgren. Outside Merzik. Bailey Ortega thought that Michelle Urquhart was somewhere else because that was a ball Bailey should have dug.
Mm-hmm.
I think she thought
a little bit of a miscommunication.
I think she thought Urquhart was pinching into that corner and she wasn't, and so the ball hits the floor. 18-13. Give the kill to Merzik from the back row. Johnson to serve. Overpass. Scotty Johnson has just done a number on the Hawkeyes from the service line.
Yeah, she's got a great float serve using that cross court again.
19-13. Now or never time. Goes at Urquhart. Good pass to Ortega. Jones. Kill. Hawks get the side out they had to have. 19-14.
Need to string some points together here if you're the Hawks to get a run going and catch up.
Yeah, you don't want to be 5 or 6 down when Michigan hits 20. Merzik, right side. Block stayed on the Hawkeye side. Give the kill to Boney.
Kind of a swat block there from Washington. She was swatted out the ball versus pressing over the net before it was hit. Ate the ball after.
Beals back in to serve. Hawks have to side this out. Good strong serve. Vanderwide off the net. Ortega middles to Jones. Dug up by Merzik. Look out, Merzick. Blocked. Adina Schmidt gets the better of Jess Merzick, 20-15. It's the first time the Hawks have forced a Merzick error.
Adina has been solid over there on the right side, hitting 412 with 4 blocks.
Amaya Jones to serve. Long.
Need that aggressive serve if you're the Hawks to get something going. And Amaya is the server to do it. Just a little long there.
She wanted to think that was in. That was out by a foot.
It's hard to tell on the opposite side of the court. Looks in.
Grant, good float serve. Anabanjo takes it. Behind Washington, Grant with the dig. Middle attack, misses it. Dennis, Ortega, Washington catches the back line. Touch is called anyway. 21-16. I thought it was in anyway.
I thought so too. I think the crowd would agree as well.
I can almost promise you, you would have had a challenge on a couple of different fronts from Coach Barnes on that one. 21-16. Tessier to serve. Good serve, good pass. Middle attack. Ooh, that was hammered home. Again, Nyambio. She only has 6, but it just seems like
every single one is.
Yeah, there was one that she kind of floated to the back line, and everything else has been kind of
a bounce.
It would be a good huddle highlight reel. Good serve from Dowd. Vanderwide, Tessier, Black off the block. Merzick. Dowd off the block. Merzick, good left hand on a banjo. Touches it out. Couple touches called. Everybody from Michigan denying it. I think somebody came clean, though, because Coach Rosen is not challenging, and she asked the huddle if she should or not.
Yep.
There were a couple of emphatic referee touch calls there, so I'm pretty sure somebody got it.
Yes.
22-17 Michigan. Urquhart, good serve. Holgren off the net. Dowd outside Merzick. Good sharp cross, but dug by Dennis. Tessier, Vanderwide off the block. Holgren again. Dowd right side. Blocked back on the Michigan side, punched up. Good ball there. Rolled over, Dennis gets it. Tessier chases it back. Vanderwide off the block. Out of bounds, Hawks score. 22-18.
A little bit of a run starting here.
You need what, 2 more? You got to get to 20 before Michigan scores again, right?
At least.
Yeah, I'm not saying we need to stop there. I'm just Urquhart off the tape. Bad pass. Ace serve. 22-19. Timeout, Coach Rosen. Hawks with 3 straight, sneaking back in it. Heck, let's stay here this time. 22-19. Just the Hawks' 3rd ace serve. 7 errors. Michigan again, kind of limiting those errors. 5 aces, just 2 ace serves, or 2 errors. So they've been very good on that side of it. Hawks still hitting 250 in this set, not bad. But Michigan 419. As Iowa's going to have to find a way. If they're going to come back in the set, I guarantee they're going to have to find a way to make stops.
Yeah.
You know, and they're probably going to have to cause something, you know.
Yeah. Starts with an aggressive serve from the Hawks, but their block has been solid this set. The Hawkeyes, you know, they're kind of getting things rolling up there finally, putting numbers up on the blocks column. Michigan's not going to stop swinging away, so I think they really need a solid block up here to keep the momentum on their side.
So do you like the short serve, or do you like the seam serve? Something to keep them out of system. If Merzick or Holgren get an easy serve right to platform, they're going to dime it up and they're going to go to one of those 3 hitters. I mean, your block can't keep up with all 3 of them. But where Iowa's caused trouble is when they put it in that seam. They've created traffic where they've been able to take the middle out of play. Something different.
Yep. I do like the seam serve here only because we haven't served a whole lot of short this match. I would hate for an error to happen when we're trying to start with the short serve here. So I do like the aggressive seam serve here to create, like you said, some chaos on Michigan's side.
Urquhart tends to move it around pretty well. 22-19, Michigan leads here in the 4th. Urquhart pops it over. Holgren, great pass. Middle attack. That was too easy.
Yeah, that was a dime pass.
Hallgren puts it right on top of the net. Dowd puts a perfect ball for Robinson in a one-on-one block. She's able to just pick a side, 23-19. Robinson now in double figures. And Merzick to serve. Dennis, good pass. Tessier on a banjo, off the block, scores. 23-20. Toy out, Amaya in. Sydney Dennis back to serve. Sid floats it over. Grant, Dowd one-hands it. Vanderwide gets the dig. Tessier behind her to Black. Good dig from Merzick. Grant chases it down. Good ball. Hallgren, though, off the net. Tessier, good solid dig. Dennis, Black off the net. Blocked, covered. Can the Hawks get it in the air? Yes. Out of system, though. Dennis gets it up. Vanderwide, dug by Grant. Dowd outside. Hallgren off the antenna. The Hawks win the scramble, 23-21.
That was a great save by Vanderwide there on the outside. That ball was really close to hitting the antenna, and she was able to get a great swing on it instead of sending them a free ball.
Sharp angle there, 23-21. Dennis to serve again. Good strong serve. Grant, great pass though, middle attack. Ball goes long, no touch, it's 23-22. Coach Rosen still sitting on a timeout, just telling her team to calm down. Hawks fighting back, Dennis. Good serve, Grant, good pass. Dowd behind her. Off the block, dug by Dennis. Tessier, outside, Vanderwide. Dug by Grant, but it's a bad ball. Dowd chases it down. Merzick from the back row. Oh, tough break there. Splits the block, 24-22.
Unlucky touch on that block with the back row swing.
Coach Barnes has a timeout. Will he call it to ice the server? He will. Merzick with the back row kill. Iowa Volleyball is brought to you by University of Iowa Sports Medicine, offering sports injury prevention, treatment, and rehabilitation to athletes of all ages and skill levels. University of Iowa Sports Medicine, team physician of your Iowa Hawks. I only wanted 4 sets of the effort we've seen from the Hawks the last 2. The first 2, probably not anything that'll go on any of the Hawkeye highlight reels, but the effort the last 2, when again, we've kind of talked about late the season mailing it in, they've really come back and played well. Even in this set, pretty easy to write off the end, but have kind of fought the way through the end here, still giving themselves a chance to force a 5th.
Yeah, a little bit of a late start on their fight here. Kind of makes it a high pressure situation when you have Michigan at set point. You're still trying to fight back to get even, but I love the fight, and it's never too late to start, so they can get it going here, and they've got Amaya Jones up there to kind of keep that spark going offensively and see where they go with this swing. I would say they were going to set Jones here, but I was wrong last time, so they might switch it up and go to Black here if it's a good pass and have that middle stick with Jones and have a seam open for Black.
Hawks have to side out. Robinson, good serve. Urquhart, Tessier behind her to Black. Good call there. Ball was off the net. Block was set up because it was a big high looper, and Black does a good job tooling it.
It's a great set by Tessier. That was a pass that was off the net, but she was able to force and get that all the way back there for Black to get a good swing on.
Match is on Bailey Ortega's hand. Good float serve. Ball's an overpass. And that's 4. Middle from Jones. Scores! We're tied!
I don't think Amaya got a touch on that one, so it was just 3. She wanted to touch it.
Well, that's what I didn't think Amaya touched it, so I thought it was 4 on Michigan's side. It doesn't matter. Jones got the kill. Tied at 24. Bailey Ortega again. Goes at Merzick. Middle. Off the block. Dug from Dennis. Ortega one hands. Vanderwide pushes at Hallgren. Dowd. Merzick. Dug by Dennis. Blocked by Jones. Dowd, Grant, Hallgren. Wide, and the Hawks have set point, 25-24. Coach Rosen's sitting on a timeout. All she's telling her team to do is calm down. I'm not sure.
Interesting tactic.
I'm not sure I understand. Ortega floats it over. Hallgren, it's off the net. Dowd chases it down, back to Hallgren. Dug from Dennis. Ortega dumps, scores! We're going 5!
Smart shot by Ortega there. They were not expecting that to come over on 2. No defensive player made a move for that ball and made it happen.
What a comeback from the Hawks. I'm talking moral victories again. We're pulling out from the dead. Here we go.
I'm ready. I think Iowa's ready too. They finally found that spark and kept it going.
Just going to look back here real quick. It was 23-19, 24-22. And the Hawks finish it up. We barely need extra points as the Hawks get it 26-24 in the 4th. Good effort there. Hawks hit 293 in the set. 16 kills, just 4 errors, and really had to buckle down. Michigan with 18 kills in the set, but 6 errors, still hit 279. Again, you look at the match stats now, 54 kills for Michigan, 53 for Iowa. And what was that? We probably have the stat sheet if we dug it out from the first set. It was like 18-4 after the first set. It was pretty gross from an Iowa perspective.
12-4, yep.
51 assists, 47 for Iowa, 53 digs to 47, 12 blocks to 8, and Michigan had dominated that in the early going as well. So pretty good script switch or flip here for the Hawks. 14 from Merzik, 14 from Pertovsky, 10 for Jess Robinson. And again, 343, 345, 421. So the top hitters for Michigan really doing the job. For the Hawkeyes, Nia Washington, career high 13, hitting 340, context blurry, 6. Amaya Jones with 12 kills, hitting 391. Adina Schmidt with 9, hitting 412. You got Audrey Black with 7, hitting 400. And I think Bailey Ortega got cheated at an assist. I think she's got 3, and they have been monsters.
Yeah.
As 2 of them were in huge transitions when the Hawkeyes needed to win a point,
yep.
And then that one to get the 4th set for the Hawks. And I've read all my reads, so I don't have to do another one. That is a funny-looking scoreboard when you look up there and realize set 1 and set 2, and then you flip over to the other side.
Yeah.
And get set 3 and set 4. So I don't remember. We're going to see if I can find it in the media guide here real quick. The Hawks are actually 2-2 in 5 setters this year.
What better way to go out at your home slate, getting a win? 5 sets against Michigan. See if they can get it done here.
Hawks, of course, running with the same lineup. Yeah, just trying to look back. I know the Hawks lost in 5 at Purdue. They won here against Indiana. They beat Wright State, and then they lost at home against Penn State.
Oh, yeah. That was a tough one.
That was almost as bad as me not wanting to talk about the first set. Michigan has the serve here in set 5 to start. Dowd will serve. She's right in front of us. Dennis, good pass. Ortega behind her to Schmidt. Hawks lead 1-0.
Powerful swing by Schmidt there. She's very efficient on that crossbody swing and finding a way to hit through that seam on the block.
Oh, I hate it when they do this. The stats blow up in this 5th set. Amaya Jones long. Gotta just take something off that.
Yeah.
I think 3 times she's missed long now here. And Merzik, who's done a really nice job at the line as well, to serve for Michigan. Vanderwide, good pass. Ortega outside. Washington scores. 2-1 Hawks.
It's a great swing, or great set by Ortega, getting nice height for Washington out there. She normally runs those outsides a little quicker with a lower set, faster tempo, but with Washington and those ups that she has, she needs the ball a little higher to get a great swing on it like she did just there.
Tessier to serve. Good strong serve. Holgren, great pass though. Right side, tipped, dug by Black. Washington, good hands on a banjo, tips. Dug by Dowd. Grant uses platform, comes outside. Pertovsky, long, no touch. First 2-point lead of the set goes to the Hawks, 3-1.
Quite a few hitting errors by Michigan here at the end of the last set and the start of this one. The Hawks are really taking advantage.
It was almost like they were pressing to finish it, and then now they're trying to press to get it back. Tessier, good serve. Holgren, great pass. Middle attack, off the block. Dug by Vanderwide. Tessier tracks it on a banjo, off the block. Washington covers. Vanderwide. Washington, great job transitioning. Covers again. She'll get another swing. Tips it, good ball, but Merzig's there. Dowd, outside Holgren. Off the block, Dug. Hawks get that up in the air. Washington, good ball, Merzig. Right side, Pertovsky, high off the block. On a banjo, didn't know where it was. Got it up in the air. Dennis, Washington, blocked and out of bounds. Hawks score. Wow.
What a rally.
No business winning that point.
Great defense by Iowa there. They were playing great coverage with all those swings that were going into Michigan's block. Credit to the defense there for staying in that rally.
4-1 Hawks. Lily Tessier to serve again. Goes long cross. Merzik, it's off the net. Dowd chases it down. Pertovsky, it's behind her. Ooh, Dennis plays a ball that was out. Tessier, Washington, into the net. 4-2. That's probably a get one, give one sort of thing there.
Yeah. I don't think she was quite ready to swing on that ball. Maybe a little gas from the previous play.
We'll see if Dennis playing that ball ends up biting the Hawks. 4-2. It might have been in. I can't tell. I'm an old guy.
I think it might have been going out.
I think so. She had to jump. Good serve over. Dennis, good ball. Tessier behind her to Washington. Tries that right side. She's tried that touch shot a couple times. Hasn't worked out.
Yeah, she needs to add a little bit more to that roll shot. Getting a little too gentle with it.
She has kind of an unusual approach anyway, and it just seems like when she tries to take it off, she's had a hard time. Good serve off the tape. Dennis. Tessier on a banjo. Toyosi on a banjo gives the Hawks a 2-point lead, 5-3.
What a swing on that one ball. She comes firing. Her fast swing and the fast set. There's no defender that can dig that ball.
Nia out, Urquhart in, Mickey to serve. Five-3 Hawks. Urquhart, good sharp cross, bad pass. Grant uses hands, good ball. Back row from Merzik. Catches the line. Coach Barnes with the wishful out call. That's a good ball to Merzik because it actually looks like it might be going to Holgren still. Stays inside and it gives that block just that little hesitation.
Yep.
Scotty Johnson to serve. Get her off there. Into the net. 6-4 Hawks lead.
She's been automatic all night. Unfortunate error to make in the 5th set. Every point just means so much more.
The Hawks had a little different rotation that time just because of the way the sets worked out. Dennis, good serve at Merzik. Bad pass. Johnson chases it down. Merzik's going to get a back row swing. Off the block, dug by Urquhart. Tessier, Jones. Dug by Johnson. But Nyambio couldn't handle it. 7-4 Hawks. See if the Hawks can get there on the switch right now. Dennis. Good float. Merzick. Good pass. Johnson. Slide. Long. No touch. Boney misses. It's 8-4 Hawks. We're going to switch sides.
Another long hitting error by Michigan. They can't seem to quite find a way to keep it in the court, but it's really helping out the Hawks.
Be surprised if Coach Rosen doesn't call timeout, but I was surprised she didn't call one at the end of the last set, too.
She has been holding off on calling them, I feel like, the last couple sets.
There it is. 8-4 Hawks lead. We're going to take a quick break as well. You're listening to Hawkeye Volleyball, presented by Quickstar. Welcome back to Extreme Arena. John Evans, Reagan Coyle, 8-4 Hawks lead here in the fifth. We'd talk to you about stats, but we've broken the stat machine again by heading to the fifth set. So let's say Hawks hitting pretty good in the fifth set, Michigan hitting not so good in the fifth set.
That would be fair to say.
We'll use just big round numbers for it.
Yeah.
Dennis will be back to serve for the Hawks. I was looking, trying to find if there was an advantage. So as I mentioned, Hawks 2-2 in 5 setters. They're 1-1 when they were first to 8 points, and they're 1-1 when their opponents were first to 8. So So no real advantage there yet.
And we know that Michigan can go on a run too. So Hawks need to stay on top here.
Dennis floats it over. Good pass from Merzick. Outside Hallgren. Hawks have a chance, but goes off Tessier, 8-5. Good kill there from Hallgren. She's been really held in pretty much check. I can't prove that with numbers still, but probably could if we looked at the fourth set numbers and added 1. I'd probably have it. Back to serve, it's Beals. At Urquhart. Good ball, Tessier. Black, dug by Johnson. Good ball. Grant behind her to Merzick. Look out. Off the block, dug by Dennis. Tessier. Vanderwide. Boy, that look touch. We'll see if Coach Barnes uses the challenge. You might as well at this point, huh? You got 2 of them.
Yeah.
8-6, and he won't.
Too convinced that there was, yeah.
No, maybe it was the hope and see if you can convince someone. 8-6, Hawks need the side out. Oh, the ball was out, and Urquhart ended up getting in the way. Hawks have played 2 balls that I think were out. 8-7, Coach Barnes will call timeout. That was more fun 3 points ago.
It was.
We'll take it too. Hawks still lead 8-7. You're listening to Hawkeye Volleyball, presented by Quickstar. Welcome back to Hawkeye Volleyball. 8-7 here in the fifth. Iowa leads Michigan, though, on a 3-0 run. We got StatCast back up, and yeah, it's gotten a little sloppy here all of a sudden. Michigan 2 kills, 2 errors. Iowa 5 kills, but 3 errors now. Jess Merzick still leads everybody, 15 kills. May Pertovsky 14. Nia Washington, though, 15 kills, hitting 273. As errors, I don't want to say piled up. She's added a couple errors to her total here, as the Hawks try to believe, I guess, is still what I'm going to go with. We've talked about this through the matches. They've been in this position, and you can almost kind of see the doubt creep in. See if they can get rid of it. Urquhart, good pass to Tessier. Jones. You go to your senior, and you finish it up. I don't care if everybody in the gym knows where it's going.
Yes, she's going to get that kill and get everybody fired up again to create some momentum going in. Now up 9-7. This is an important point, first 1 to 10, to finish out those 5 points.
Amaya with 15 now. Ortega to serve. Bailey, good float serve. Bielso, good pass. Johnson outside Merzick. Misses wide. Touch called.
I wonder if that was on
Dennis, maybe?
Sydney? Yeah, I was going to say that Block did not get a piece of that one, but
Dennis didn't deny anything.
Yeah.
Good serve there. Urquhart, great pass to Ortega. Outside Schmidt. Good dig from Grant. Johnson outside Merzick. High off the block. Urquhart, run it right back to Jones. Got a chance. That ball's up. Grant gets it up. Goes out over the antenna. Wow, was that close.
That was a little too
What a
close.
great hustle play. Grant to get a piece of it, Merzick into the scorer's table, and Grant to get it back up anywhere near the court.
Yeah, that was great hustle by Michigan, but great swing also by Maya Jones, but for them to get that up too was very impressive.
10-8, Vanderwide. Good float serve. Johnson outside Merzick. Dug by Vanderwide. Dennis to Washington. Sails it. That's that freshman adrenaline.
Yeah, got a little too excited there. She's got that powerful swing, just needs to use it. I think it was just up a little too early for that swing.
Dowd's back in to serve. 10-9, Iowa leads here in the 5th. Dennis, great pass to Ortega. Behind her to Schmidt, high off the block. Grant with an easy play. Dowd, right side. Dug by Dennis. Can Vanderwide chase it down? No, but Washington can. Dennis gets it over. Hawks in a mad scramble. Dump to Jones, gets it over! Maddie Dowd thought she was going to pull a Bailey Ortega and dump it. Amaya Jones was ready, sent it back to her. It's 11-9 Hawks. Jones, good serve, bad pass. Merzick uses hands. Pertosky gets a swing. Amaya Jones with one hand. Ortega behind Washington, rolls it. She's dug up by Dowd. Grant behind her to Pertosky. Off the block, dug by Vanderwide. Ortega to Washington. Chops it through the block. Hawks lead 12-9.
It was a great swing by Washington to kind of slow down and really focus on getting that ball inbounds, use that tool off the block.
Timeout, Coach Rosen. Hawks lead 12-9. You're listening to Hawkeye Volleyball, presented by Quickstar. Welcome back to Extreme Arena, 12-9. Hawks lead here in the 5th. I'm John Evans, Reagan Coyle, trying to bring home a winner here in the season finale, or home finale, not the season finale. Again, just a reminder, Hawks will be in Michigan State, East Lansing on Saturday, 2 o'clock Eastern time, 1 o'clock Central time, as the Hawks will close out their season against the Spartans.
And these last 3 points are huge. Important for the Hawks to finish out the set here, because 3 more for Michigan means a tied game at 12, so finish it out here.
Jones, good strong serve. Oh, Adina Schmidt catches the overpass. It's 13-9.
Jones finally finding her serving rhythm here, keeping those balls aggressive, but keeping it in too. The last few serves gone out for her with her error, so.
Coach Rosen will use a challenge. The net was bouncing, so we'll see if it was Schmidt or the ball.
I think it was just the ball. I don't know if she got a piece of it, but I guess we'll see.
13-9. Adina with 11. But again, if you're Coach Rosen, you're sitting on 2 challenges.
Might as well.
Now is a good time.
Now would be a good time.
There's no great reason to not challenge this if you're sitting in the coach's chair over there. But we saw this when the Hawkeyes made the challenge. Just the icing of sometimes of the servers, not all bad.
Yeah.
And Michigan's out of timeouts at this point. Nobody on the Michigan floor went to the, hey, they were in the net. I think that's just Coach Rosen
just using
pulling that right away. Because every Michigan player was looking at that, and nobody went, hey. And so
see if Jones can keep the heat on her serve and keep it in play here.
Hallgren will check back in for Beals. That'll give Michigan a back row opportunity here. Jones, good strong serve, bad pass. Grant platforms it to Merzick. It's outside the court. Ortega can't platform it though, 13-10. It's a good swing from Merzick there.
Yeah, nice and controlled down the line.
Yeah,
if it didn't hit Ortega, I would have painted the end line there.
And she was outside the court. That's a good sharp angle that she hit there. Merzick now to serve. Again, she's been really good at the line too. Good serve there. Vanderwide, bad pass. Dennis uses good hands to Washington. Through the block, catches the line. 13-11. Coach Barnes wastes no time letting the momentum build. He'll use the timeout. 13-11. Hawks 2 points away. Timeout on the floor. You're listening to Hawkeye Volleyball presented by Quickstar. Welcome back to Extreme Arena. We're in a fight here in the 5th set. Hawks lead 13-11. Michigan scored the last 2. As the Hawks trying to finish it up.
Like Schmidt has been automatic here and on the right side. I feel like you got to go to her. Get to put the ball away. See match point here for the Hawks.
Merzick to serve. Good float serve there. Vanderwide. Schmidt. No touch called. Coach Barnes has got to about do the same thing Coach Rosen did and use the challenge. Hopefully Coach Barnes is more successful than Coach Rosen was in her desperate challenge.
I don't know that he will be, though. I would love it.
You're feeling the desperate part of it.
I just did not see anything. But might as well use it while you can and get a little timeout and kind of stop the momentum from going too far.
See if we get it. Vanderwide, good pass. Got the ball you wanted here. Although, boy, watching that replay, seeing Toy come up the middle, I might have loved to have seen that swing, too.
Get her a 1 ball.
Yep. That block, there's no extra block there. So as it stands, 13-12. You've got the good view of the replay now.
Trying to squint really hard. I don't know if I see a touch.
Jess Merzick, who's at the service line for Michigan. 17 kills, just 2 hitting errors, 9 digs, and 3 blocks. So what an all-around day from her. Pertovsky, 14 kills, 2 digs, 3 blocks. Jess Robinson, 10 kills and 6 blocks. And then on the Hawkeye side, Nia Washington, 16 kills, 4 digs. Amaya Jones, 16 kills, 6 blocks. Give that middle a service ace and a couple digs. And you've got Adina Schmidt, who, even though with the error there, still has 11 kills and 4 blocks. So we're going to get a call stands here. 13-12 Michigan. Hawks still just need a side out.
Need a good pass here and get a first ball kill.
So this is just grit. This is just buckle up, make one pass, do what you need to do. Merzik's hit a good drop serve here. She almost puts like backspin on it, gets it to kind of settle. Serves that one again. Vanderwide off the net. Ortega goes behind her to Schmidt again, through the block, dug by Merzik. Ball goes to Hallgren. Blocked back on the Michigan side and out of bounds. We're tied at 13.
Unlucky block touch. They were closed and on that hitter.
Crowd trying to pick up the Hawks. Need a better first pass here. Merzik didn't get it. Oh, yeah, they did. Ortega on a banjo. That ball's on the ground. 14-13, match point for the Hawks.
Thought that ball was going to be really tight for Ortega, but it was just enough off the net for her to
Well, so I said, need a good pass. I'm like, that's not it. Okay, that worked out.
Okay. She's really good about saving those from being too tight.
Lily Tessier checks in. She'll serve. Audrey Black's in the front row as well. Tessier to try to win it for the Hawks. Goes at Hallgren. Middle. It hits the referee's foot. It's out. We've got a challenge. We've got a challenge. Again, if you're Coach Rosen, you might as well use it.
Oh, I hate those at the end of the game, though.
Hawkeyes have to roll the celebration off.
Put it on pause for now, because if that hit the line judge's foot, that is out of bounds.
The ball was out. She's arguing a touch.
Yeah.
Good pass. That ball is not touched. It hits David's left foot way out of bounds. I don't think this is going to take long. So Jess Robinson, who has been outstanding tonight, may end up with the hitting error that sends Iowa home a winner, but we'll see. I'm terrible if we're doing this at football. I never know what the referee's going to do there. I think everybody in the arena.
Yeah.
Hawks are dancing. But again, I think they saw the ball hit his foot. That's not really the issue.
Right. One more desperate challenge to end the match of desperate challenges.
Hey, that's why you save them. You save them for that. Nia Washington, career high, 16 kills. And at did you say overruled?
Over the block.
Over the block. Thank goodness. And that's it. Hawks win it. Hawks win it. If I'd have told you 2 hours ago when that first set ended 25-9 that we'd have been here and the Hawks would win it in 5, I'm not quite sure you'd have bought that.
I would not have. What a way to turn it around and really finish strong.
What an outstanding win for the Hawks. Michigan takes the first two, 25-9. Yes, 9. 25-19 in the second. Hawks rally back, 25-18, 26-24, and 15-13. Nia Washington, career high, 16. Amaya Jones, 16. Adina Schmidt, 11. I don't even know what to say other than I'm going to give Coach Barnes a whole heck of a hard time for not playing that lineup a long time ago. Toyosiana Banjo plugs into the middle after having a rough first set, getting benched in the second set. Comes in, brings just a whole different spark and energy out of the middle to the team. The whole team fed off of it. They really picked it up.
They really did, yeah. She brings energy on the court no matter where she is, but having her in the middle and having her go off in the middle is a whole nother level that we obviously haven't seen yet from her, but it was really exciting to watch it play out and, see them just be able to finish strong for once in a set and really bring home the win.
Jess Merzick double-double, 17 kills, 10 digs. But the Hawks just had too much overall. Coach Barnes coming over to say hi. Deep breath, Coach. It's all good.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start with this. Why have you saved that lineup until the last home match of the season?
That's what I'm telling myself. But, I'm just proud of, the ladies. We came out the flattest you can be and really had to change some things up, and that ended up sparking us, that players were ready to go and make a difference, and we got the momentum back on our side. We
had said during the match, look, it's not really this time of year. Reagan had been kind of in the position. It's not really about, hey, do you win? And we talked about it. Do you show some pride?
Yeah.
25-9 didn't feel like a whole lot of pride.
No.
25-19 was a little bit better. And then you made the change, and it was funny because just coming out, you could see the different energy. Toy in the middle was bouncy. She was her smiley self, and that carried through the whole team.
Well, I told Toy, I go, look, we got to stop them. We got one block, and we got to stop their middles. Toy, go in the middle, and she lit up. She tells me all the time she hates playing middle. But as you can see, she's a really good middle, and she went in and made the difference because we got 5 blocks in that third set. And it got in their head. And, again, that middle that was bouncing the ball was now hitting balls barely out. And on game point, same thing. I told Toy, because you blocked her earlier, she's starting to hit wide now. You got in her head. And, she came in and really made a big difference.
Nia Washington now career high. Her career high was 5.
Yes.
How's 16 hit you, Coach?
What a great young lady. She's got so much talent. And was so ready for this moment. She's been working so hard, and we couldn't be more proud of her. She did a great job, and both our right sides, Adina and Audrey. Audrey hasn't played much lately, and both of them go in and really give us a punch on the right too. Just proud of how our players stepped up.
My printout doesn't get me Sydney Dennis's career high in digs either, but I'm going to venture a guess and say 23 is probably it.
Right, and Sid's now, in that libero spot, and Maury's injured, and so she just stepped up, and she's did a great job, played like a veteran out there, and couldn't be more proud of Sid.
So, again, we kind of talked about the wins and losses haven't necessarily come, but the other thing that I noticed when you made the changes, so first set, not where you wanted, Michelle Urquhart, who we talked about in pre-match.
Right.
You went to her to finish up the last match. Hey,
right.
The ball's coming to you.
Right.
Now all of a sudden she's DS.
Right.
But when she was handing off to Nia Washington coming in, big smile on her face, patting her on the back, getting her going. Toyosi doing her thing.
A great teammate. Yes.
Yeah. Well, just Toyosi after a not good first set, getting benched in the second, coming back in, being ready to go when you said we're going to do something different.
Right. Yeah.
It's a pretty good team atmosphere overall.
Yeah, and I tell the ladies, look, all of us, me included, our roles can change any moment. Everybody's just got to be all in for whatever role you get, and that's the way a team works. And we were the epitome of that in this match.
Hey, I've taken enough of your time. Go celebrate with your team, Coach.
Well,
congratulations.
Thank you, John.
Coach Jim Barnes getting the winner, 15-13 in the fifth. We'll get Reagan here to finish it up since it's our season finale as well. I'll let you recap. 25-9, 25-19, 25-18, 26-24, 15-13. The Hawks actually complete the reverse sweep of Michigan.
Yeah, and with that first set being 25-9, they've really had to find a way to try something different, and I feel like that lineup change was the answer. Not super conventional having Toyosi come in the middle, but she made it happen, and that's what you need to be an elite level volleyball player in the Big Ten. If you get put in a position where you just have to play your best and smile and have fun, she did it, and she was the reason, I feel like, for their spark to happen and the reason that they were able to pull this off.
This will make turkey a little bit better for them tomorrow, won't it?
Absolutely will.
Well,
yeah.
Thank you very much for joining me, especially these last 3 matches and the match earlier in the year. Hopefully you'll get a chance to do it a little bit more with me next year.
I would love to.
Everybody, thanks for listening. This wraps up season number 4 for me, the home season here for the Hawkeyes. I'm not sure could have found a more fun way to go out. Hawks get the win in 5, 15-13 in the 5th. I'm John Evans. That was Reagan Coyle. Thanks for listening. You've been listening to Hawkeye Volleyball presented by Quickstar.